Hey, good evening, fellas, and welcome to today's edition of the Footballers YouTube channel. Today, we will be talking about the games that are currently going on and one that happened yesterday and day before yesterday, right? You remember what we always say when we get into it that we have a target of getting to 10,000 subscribers before the end of December. So please do us a favor and click on the subscribe button, like this video, and turn on notifications because we will be releasing videos like this throughout the World Cup, right? So on Wednesday, I'd actually talked about Griezmann getting a late equalizer for France against Tunisia. I was actually following it on my laptop here as I was making the video, only for me to check later on, and then VAR had ruled out that goal. Obviously, Griezmann was standing in an offside position when that cross came in, and then in the second phase, he was adjudged to have been offside. So Tunisia ended up winning that game 1-0, but couldn't qualify because Australia had beaten Denmark in the other game in that group. So guys, a bit of a sad one for us there. Tunisia finished with 4 points, don't forget, and still weren't able to qualify for the round of 16 because of Australia's 6 points. They beat Tunisia 1-0 and also beat Denmark 1-0 there. So they are fast becoming the 1-0 specialist of this tournament there. They will go on and face Argentina in the second round there. So really nail biting and a cracker of a game there to expect. On Wednesday night, Poland and Argentina played, and that was billed as Lewandowski versus Lionel Messi, and Argentina ended up beating Poland there 2-0 there. Two goals. The first one from trying to remember now. The first one that was scored. Yeah, I know that Messi missed a penalty there. A bit of a no for me there. I don't think it was a penalty. Obviously he had headed the ball before Chesney made contact with his head. The first goal was scored. Yeah, the first goal was scored by McAllister of Brighton. Very early on in the second half. I don't think it was up to 60 seconds. After the restart that he got that goal, and then the second one was scored by Sergio Alvarez of Manchester City. Very good build-up play, very patient passing, and then the quick incisive pass into him in the box. He took a touch and basically just walloped the ball into the net. So Argentina they're finishing 2-0 there. In the other game in that group, you had Saudi Arabia facing Mexico, and Mexico won that one 2-1. And unfortunately, they just couldn't qualify because of the superior head-to-head that Poland had in that group there. So Saudi Arabia losing to Mexico in their final group game. Mexico unable to qualify even after finishing with 4 points. Yeah, because in their first game they drew Poland 0-0. They lost their second game to Argentina, and then they won their third game against Saudi Arabia. But it just wasn't enough for them to qualify for the round of 16. And then yesterday was just full of drama, man. Come on, man, it's complete drama. Starting with Group F, where Morocco beat Canada 2-1 and qualified, becoming Africa's second representative in the round of 16. I'm so happy there. African teams are doing well. I'm hoping that Ghana, currently behind against Uruguay, will find a way to come back and win that game and qualify for the round of 16. But let's keep focused on what we're talking about. Morocco versus Canada there. Morocco just finding a way to beat Canada there. Akim Ziyech getting the second goal there. I think Canada got a late consolation in that game there, but Morocco were really comfortable in that game there. They won 2-1, and then Belgium failed to beat Croatia there, right? We all thought that Belgium was going to find a way to beat Croatia, just find a way past them and then qualify for the round of 16. But as it is, Morocco actually finished top of that group there. Guys, don't forget that they drew their first game against I think, yeah, Morocco drew their first game against Croatia 0-0, won their second game against Belgium 1-0, and then beat Canada in their last game 2-1 there. So really impressive stuff by Morocco there, and Hakim Ziyech has really been at the center of it. Nesri, yeah, I can't remember his full name now, but Nesri got the first goal in that game. Hakim Ziyech got the second goal, and then Canada got a late consolation in that one there. So really impressive one there for the African teams. So Senegal have qualified, Morocco have qualified, Tunisia unfortunately is home. Ghana will look to see if they can qualify today, and then Cameroon will see if they can beat Brazil tonight, to book their place in the last 16 there. And then in the other game in that group was Croatia versus Belgium, where Lukaku absolutely missed a sitter there. It was a shocking one for us. I did think that they would, find that quality, find that intensity and intention and aggression to get one past the Croatians, but unfortunately, they drew 0-0 with Croatia and are out of the tournament, and might be the end of the golden generation for Belgium. Roberto Martinez immediately tendered his resignation after that game. A bit of a sad one, when you look at them, it's a team that has Carrasco, that has Kevin De Bruyne, that has Eden Hazard, his brother Thorgan Hazard, Alderweireld, uh, the other guy who played for Tottenham with him there too. Can't remember his name at the moment. Yeah, sorry, Vertonghen, Alderweireld. They had Witzel, they had this guy Moenia. So very good and solid players there. Yeah, let me never forget the Leicester guy. Telemans. Telemans, Alex Witzel. The former guys in Napoli. Uh, you know, slipped, it slipped my memory at the moment. But just a couple of really really good guys there, and so unfortunate that they haven't been able to make it out of that group. We wish them better luck next time. And then let's move on to this game. So Uruguay versus Ghana. The undertone for that game was, oh my god, I'm just looking at live score right now, and it's 2-0 to Uruguay already. So a bit of a sad one there. But the undertone coming into this game was Luis Suarez handball in 2010 in South Africa. Remember, man, it was so if he hadn't gotten that block on the line, Uruguay would have. Sorry, Ghana would have qualified for the semi-final in that particular tournament there. So it's a bit of an undertone there. In the press conference leading up to today's game, he has said that he wasn't going to apologize for that handball. So people thought that Ghana was going to use that as a fuel, right, to come out blazing in this game. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm checking on live score right now as I'm making this video. 39th minute there, and Uruguay are leading 2-0 there. So a bit of a sad one for us. I really do wish that the Black Stars can find a way to come back in this game. They probably need just 4 points, to qualify from this group. I know, we all know that Portugal are qualified. Portugal at the moment are drawing with South Korea 1-1, and then we know that if Ghana manages to beat Uruguay, they should be able to qualify as the second best in that group. I don't know what the other permutations are, but I just do feel like a draw should be enough for Ghana to qualify there. So a bit of a sad one seeing them 2 goals behind, in the first half already. It's going to be tough, really, really tough for them. In the other games that are happening tonight, Cameroon versus Brazil, that one is really, that one is David versus Goliath. Even if I think Brazil will be fielding their um, their second team here, I still feel it's really going to be a tough ask for us to expect Cameroon to overcome Brazil there. I wish and I hope that they would do that, so that Africa has a third representative in the round of 16. Because looking at what's happening in that game involving Ghana versus Uruguay, it looks very unlikely now that Ghana might proceed out of that group, except they have an exceptional second half, able to draw level 2-2, and maybe go on to pinch that game, with one goal there. So let's see what happens. Cameroon, Brazil, tough one. So because of what happened yesterday night, and I'm coming to that now. Because of what happened yesterday night, I'm not going to make predictions because it's been a roller coaster of a World Cup here. The other game in that same group will be Serbia versus Switzerland. Don't forget that Switzerland beat Cameroon in their first game and lost their second game against Brazil. So they know that they absolutely have to beat Serbia there to stand a chance of qualifying for the second round. Serbia too lost their first game against Brazil, drew their second game against Cameroon, so they know that a victory in that game against Switzerland is absolutely necessary for them to qualify for the round of 16. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say Serbia versus Switzerland. I'm going to call that as a goal or 1/1.5, right, guys? So Serbia Switzerland, both teams have to come out and play. I'm calling that as a goal and over 1.5, right? Cameroon Brazil, I'm going to leave that one because it doesn't look too clear for me. I can't call South Korea Portugal already because they're already in play. Currently it's 1-1 in the 42nd minute of the first half. And then Ghana Uruguay currently lead 2-0. Now let's talk about the crazy games yesterday night, man. Spain versus Costa Rica and Germany. Germany versus Costa Rica and Spain versus Japan. Those two absolutely crazy games there, right? No one would have thought that Japan would have beaten Spain yesterday because all Germany needed in that game was for Spain to at least have drawn Japan, and they had to beat Costa Rica for them to stand any chance of qualifying. They did do their own job, they beat Costa Rica even if they fell 2-1 behind in the second half there. But further goals from Kai Havertz and then the other guy that came from the bench to score against Spain, it gave them a cushion of the lead 4-2. It was really sad to see Germany go out in the first round, and it's now the second consecutive tournament where Germany have left the tournament in the first stage. In 2018 in Russia, the same thing happened to them, and now in 2022 in Qatar, the same thing has befallen them. Japan incredibly, I use that word again, incredibly beat Spain, and not just beat Spain, finished top of that group, right? Followed closely by Spain and then Germany on 4 points each. Don't forget that it was that humongous 7-0 victory against Costa Rica that did help Spain here to qualify. If they hadn't beaten Costa Rica 7-0, I'm not sure they would have had enough goal difference to have been able to peep Germany in that group there. So really amazing. You never know what goals will do for you, in the final analysis there. So you know, uh, it was a night of drama then in Group E there, because it kept swinging back and forth. Who was going to qualify? Who was top? Who was second? At the end of the day, Germany is out. Japan and Spain will advance from Group E to the round of 16 there. But Costa Rica gave a good account of themselves after losing their first game 7-0. They won the next game against Japan 1-0, and even Germany, even in their loss to Germany, they showed us what they are capable of doing as a team there. So, you know, good work up there. Really interesting games coming out. Really interesting results. I don't think anyone could have predicted, Japan beating Spain, and I was kind of grateful that I did make a video yesterday, because truly, if I was to make a video, I probably would have chosen a Spain victory and a Germany victory there. So, and no one bites the dust. And just before I go, I like to say something about Jamal Musiala, the German playmaker there. Don't forget he's a Nigerian. Yeah, he's one of a Nigerian father and a German mother there. I think if there's any German player that stands out in this tournament, it's Jamal Musiala. He's really caught our eyes. He's won the admiration of so many fans throughout the world there, and just you know you know you can only wish him the best, and hope that before his career ends, he's really able to shine on the World Cup stage. He was so impressive in the three games that he played, and unfortunately he couldn't get a goal yesterday. But his ability to manipulate the ball in tight areas, and the fact that he was really the only German player that was really impressive throughout those three games there. So my heart goes out to him, and I only wish him the best. So guys, that's pretty much it. Like I said, the only game I'm going to call today will be Serbia versus Switzerland, because both teams have to absolutely go out and get a result. So in that one, I'm predicting a goal and an over 1.5. Guys, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow, the round of 16 begins. I'm not entirely sure who's going to play tomorrow. Yeah, let's just check it. Yeah, very good. Tomorrow, round of 16, Netherlands versus USA and Argentina versus Australia. Man, guys, Argentina, Australia, very difficult for me to call. Netherlands, USA, I will call that one as a go. Argentina, Australia, I just do feel like Australia can get a go in that one. Although I feel like Argentina are favorites in that one there. When you look at the way Enzo Fernandez and Rodrigo De Paul are playing in that midfield there, if they're able to control that game, they don't allow Moy of Australia and an Australian midfield get anything on the ball there, because Australia are pretty much a team that if they score one goal, they just lock up. They just tighten up at the back there. So Argentina have to absolutely make sure that they score the first goal in that game. They are favorites to win that game, but I'll call that game as an over 1.5. Netherlands USA, I'll call that as a go or as an over 1.5. So guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you for tuning in again. Don't forget what I said. We have a target of getting to 10,000 subscribers before the end of December. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, turn notifications, because we'll be releasing videos like this throughout the World Cup. Guys, don't forget, make sure you do your own research and only play with an amount that you're comfortable losing, right? Guys, pretty much, have a great weekend. Take care and stay safe, stay sane, and God bless you. Thank you.